Hey y'all. First of all, before I go any further, sorry about the hat. I did my hair. I retwisted my hair, and my hair is still sitting in clips right now, and it would be really tacky to go on YouTube and do-rag and some hair clips. So please excuse the hat. But anyway, so a lot has happened since I have last done a video. First of all, Saturday, we here in London got snow. And, I mean, I wasn't really excited about it because of the fact that um, it wasn't Sunday and Monday went the next day, so we're still probably going to have school. But the funny thing about it is, though you would think that London was prepared for the snow, as cold as it is here and as much rain as they get here, they're not. They are. This city truly is not prepared for snow, and they'll tell you that in a minute. And in fact, it reminds me a lot of North Carolina in terms of being ready for the snow. You get like a couple of inches of snow, and the whole city just shuts down. So it snowed about 2 inches. 2 inches, enough to get a layer on the ground and to cover the cars. Um, City didn't shut down as much as I thought, as much as the locals made it seem like it was. There were still issues. There were still definitely issues. In fact, the next morning, Sunday morning, got up and went to church. Same church I've been going to. So I had to I had to go to three different train stations because two of them were closed for some reason. I don't know if they had to do with the weather or not. I will say when I finally got to the third one and got on the train, we had to go past the two that were closed. And at one of them, I saw firefighters walking with fire extinguishers. So it doesn't really signal anything with the snow. However, there was a thing on the Transport for London's website that said that weather was going to mess up service for the tube being the subway. So I don't know. If it was something like a fire or something like that, I'm really grateful that I was actually late getting up and at 'em because I could have been in that. But no one was hurt or anything like that from what I heard. But I'm not sure if I would know about it because of the fact that, side note, they don't have local news here. All the news is either regional or national. In the States, we get the local news for our specific city. They don't do that here. They do regional and national. So it's really hard to get like local specialized news on your area of London or just London in general because they're reporting on a wider area, which I don't really like, but it's not up to me. So yeah, but that was just a side note. So went to church. As I said, went really well. Only probably about 20, 30 people were there. 30 is actually being generous. Closer to 20 because of the snow. A lot of people couldn't get out. Um, and I know it was a bit tough for me to get out, as I said, with the subway and then trudging through the snow. But I'm still glad that I went. The preacher who preached, not the church's normal pastor, but the man who's over their conference, preached about walking in the Spirit and how you don't need to be doing one thing and preach another. Like, walk in the Spirit and be about the Lord and stuff like that. So it was good sermon. Good sermon, very different from the normal pastors, but it was very good. Bought my ticket to the concert this Saturday. So I'll be going to that. So I have to let you know how that goes. I'm really excited about it. What's next? What's next? What's next? Oh, when I left church Sunday, I stopped at this place called Tennessee Fried Chicken, and it reminded me a lot of Bojangles minus the heavy seasoning, and it was a taste of home. So I got the 5-piece chicken fingers and French fries and a Pepsi, and it was tasty. It was no Bojangles, but it was tasty. And it was a nice taste of home. They have a lot of London has a lot of foods from America. Definitely. Not just restaurants, but actual. foods that we eat in America like that, because I've never heard of a Tennessee fried chicken in the States. Um, but then again, they may have them somewhere, and maybe I don't know. But yeah, food from all over the world. Jamaican restaurants are abound. Indian restaurants are abound. Any sort of nationality you're looking for, there's food represented here, and it's so cool. I don't even really know what British food is, aside from maybe things like fish and chips, fish and thick fries. Um, Maybe like jacket potatoes. I have yet to have one of those. Um, Mince pie, maybe. I think that's like the. I'm not going to go into what I think it is. I just heard of it. I don't want to be spreading out wrong information on YouTube. But most of the food that you get here is not quote unquote British food. It's food from all over the world in Britain. So, with that being said, Sunday also, as you know, was the Super Bowl. I am not a football fan. In fact, football is actually probably my least favorite sport of them all. But at the University of London, they had a viewing party for the Super Bowl. So we watched the Super Bowl live with all the people in America. And I went, it was £4, and I went and stayed through the halftime show because it started so late. I think it was 11:30 when the game started. So yeah, it was 11:30 here. So, of course, that meant it was going to be really, really late when it got out, and I could not stomach that considering I had classes the next morning. But I went, and it was good. It was good. Full of Americans, of course. I thought there'd be more national diversity. I don't know why, considering Super Bowl is an American sport, but full of Americans. But it was for me, I was thinking about the whole like technology of it. Like, isn't it amazing that here we are on the other side of the world being able to watch this game live that's happening back home? Just food for thought. But it was good. I didn't really care about who won. I didn't really care. In fact, as I said, I left during at the end of the halftime show. We did not get the commercials, however. That really made me mad because that's my favorite part of the Super Bowl, the commercials. Because the game itself is whatever, but I really like the commercials, and they loop the same 4 or 5. Once again, being generous, probably about 3 commercials on our station. I don't know why, but they did. So missed out on the commercials, but it was nice to fellowship with the people from the honors program that did go and all that. So yeah, that was Sunday. Also, when I got back, I ended up booking my spring break trip to Berlin. So I'll be going to Berlin for a couple days during our spring break, which is the last week of February. So I'm excited about that. Kind of nervous because I don't speak much German. Actually, I don't speak hardly any German. But when I went to Germany and I was in like, the country, they could speak a decent amount of English. Something if they can speak it in the country, they really ought to be able to speak it in the city. So we'll see. We'll see. I'll definitely be buying a book on Germany, a travel book on Berlin, and a German English dictionary from somewhere just in case I need it. So, we'll see how that works out. I'm really excited. As I said, I'll be praying about that one. What's next? What's next? What's next? Monday. So the week started yesterday, of course, because today's Tuesday. Only had one class, politics and current affairs, and that class is pretty interesting to learn about British politics because it's very different than what it is here. It's similar in a couple ways, but really at the core is very different. We're talking about political parties, and here they've gone back and forth between like a multi-party system, a two-party system, a three-party system, a no-party system. They've just gone back and forth in the history. Uh, Even recently, from the last like 150 years, versus the U.S. by the time the turn of the century came, you had Republicans and Democrats, and that was pretty much it. And it's been like that since. But Britain has gone back and forth, and I think that's interesting, talking about how the what remind actually reminded me of the U.S. was how for Parliament you can win more vote. You can win. How does it go? You can win a certain share of the votes, but that doesn't mean that you win this. That's the corresponding number of seats in Congress. Your party could have more share of the vote, but actually have less seats in Parliament. And that reminds me a whole lot of the Electoral College, and it doesn't quite make sense. So it's interesting to learn about little things like that and how the political system here works. But honestly, a lot of it is over my head. But I try to catch what I can with the aid of my classmates, and I'm really grateful for them, because if I were in that class with no one that I halfway knew or halfway met, it would be a wrap. So, last thing, finally got my Metro card, my Oyster card. Well, I didn't get it. Finally got approved for it. It's been a true drama that has been going on over the past week. And in fact, I actually had to break down and buy an Oyster card, a regular one. The way, I don't know if I explained it, but you have the card and then you have to put money on the card. And if you buy a regular one, you have to put, okay, example. I got a 7-day travel pass. So it gets me anywhere on the bus, train, for a whole week. On the regular Oyster card, which is what I bought Saturday, that was £35, which is probably close to like $55, $60. A lot of money just to travel for 1 week. But had to pay it. Had to break down and pay it. But with the student Oyster card, you get a 30% discount. So as opposed to me paying 35, I would pay about, I think about maybe 25. Real rough math in my head, trying to do it quickly. But that savings truly, truly adds up. But there was drama going on about which date to use, because you have to be, your program has to last a certain amount of time, and my program didn't last that amount of time. So it was just a bunch of mess, but they all got it figured out. So I'm really glad about that. So my student Oyster card should be coming in the mail soon, and I am really excited about that. So today I don't have class today, so hence why I was trying to get this video out even in the midst of my hair being all tied up. But I didn't know when I'd be able to get the time, or more importantly the privacy, because privacy here is really hard to come by, which is okay. Which is okay. It is different, but it's okay. So I will talk to you all soon. In the meantime, please pray for me and I'll be praying for you, and y'all have a good one. Talk to you later.